Ever since people figured out fire, we've loved tasty food. But did you know that one food could start wars, save people, or even build empires? From Asia, Africa, America, and right here in Europe, these 5 foods weren't just dinner, they changed history. And let's travel through time and across the world to explore the amazing stories of these everyday foods. We'll see how a simple root, a fragrant spice, a warm cup of leaves, a bitter bean, and a tropical fruit changed human history. Our adventure starts high in the Andes Mountains of South America, where the Incas grew a simple plant, the potato. They had no idea this bumpy root would one day travel across oceans and change how a whole continent ate. When Spanish explorers arrived, they didn't care about the potato. They thought it was weird and you couldn't eat it, but potatoes are tough. They grow even in bad weather and make lots of food. So, slowly, potatoes spread across Europe. At first, people were scared of them, but then they realized how cheap and healthy they were. Everyone started eating potatoes, from poor farmers to rich kings. They fed people and even armies, but the potato story has a sad part too. The Irish potato famine in the 1800s was terrible. A potato disease caused lots of people to starve and get sick. Many people died and many others had to leave Ireland, changing Ireland and other countries forever. For a long time, spices were magical. Explorers, traders, and empires all wanted them. These strong flavors and smells were worth more than gold. Seriously, our story follows the old spice routes from the east to Europe. Pepper, cloves, cinnamon, and nutmeg. These little treasures started a huge trade network that connected different cultures and made countries rich. Arab traders kept their spice secrets and controlled the spice trade for a long time, becoming very wealthy and powerful. Their caravans crossed dangerous deserts and sailed across huge oceans, bringing not just spices but also new ideas and cultures. Europeans loved spices, especially pepper, and this made people want to explore. Brave sailors like Vasco da Gama and Christopher Columbus sailed across the world to find a faster way to get spices from the east, and that changed everything. Chapter 3. The power of tea, a beverage that shaped empires. From the mountains of China, where a legend says Emperor Shennong discovered it, tea is now the world's favorite drink, but it was more than just a drink. It was a symbol of power, rebellion, and world trade. In China, tea ceremonies became fancy rituals, showing how elegant the Ming dynasty was. Tea houses popped up everywhere, becoming places to hang out and talk about important things. Everyone wanted tea, making it very valuable. When Portuguese traders brought tea to Europe in the 1500s, people were curious and it quickly became popular with rich people. But it was the British East India Company that saw how important tea really was. They started huge tea farms in India and controlled all the tea trade. Tea became a British thing, helping their empire grow. But needing so much tea also caused problems. The Boston Tea Party, a very important event in the American Revolution, showed how tea could make people angry and start a revolution. Chapter 4. The allure of chocolate. From sacred drink to global obsession. Let's go to the rainforests of Mesoamerica, where the Mayans and Aztecs first grew cacao trees, which make chocolate. They thought cacao was a gift from the gods. They drank it as a bitter, bubbly drink in ceremonies and even used the beans as money. When Spanish explorers came, they didn't like the bitter taste at first, but then they added sugar and spices and started to love it. Chocolate became a fancy treat for rich Europeans. It tasted great and made them feel good, so everyone wanted it. Sadly, wanting so much chocolate led to a terrible time in history, the slave trade. Many Africans were taken to America to work on cacao farms in awful conditions. It's so sad that something once seen as a gift from the gods became connected to such cruelty. Even with this sad history, chocolate became more and more popular. It went from a fancy drink to all sorts of treats, bars, truffles, and candies. Now, billions of people love chocolate. Chapter 5. Bananas, a fruit that toppled empires. Our last stop is Southeast Asia, where bananas come from. This easy-to-eat sweet fruit is everywhere now. But its story is complicated. For a long time, only people in Asia ate bananas. When European explorers came in the 1500s, bananas started traveling west and ended up growing well in the Caribbean and Central America. Big banana farms started in the late 1800s and early 1900s. Powerful American companies like United Fruit Company ran these farms and changed the economies of many Latin American countries. These companies were very powerful. They controlled the land, how things were shipped, and even the governments. This is why some countries were called banana republics, which isn't a nice name. It means a country is weak and depends on just one thing, like bananas, that other countries control. Bananas, a symbol of tropical goodness, became part of a story of unfairness and political problems. From the Andes Mountains to the busy spice markets of Istanbul, from Chinese tea houses to the cacao forests of Mesoamerica and the banana farms of Central America, we've seen how food changed our world in big and surprising ways. So, the next time you eat a potato chip, drink tea or enjoy some chocolate, remember the history you're tasting. Which food surprised you the most? Tell us in the comments below. And don't forget to like this video, subscribe and share it with your friends who love food.